Hey, what's up, everybody? This is going to be a Yuri's Revenge game, Regular 2 expansion. It's going to be in Country Sworn. I'm Yuri, and I'm versus a Master Soviet. So, we're going to get the barracks up. And by the way, yeah, I mean, I try to get the games where it's like all high quality, but once in a while there's a game that I don't get recorded. I wish I would have got recorded every once in a while. And I actually had a game. It was like the same spots, same countries, and it was really awesome. And like, a lot of the playstyles is I was really going super intense with the discs, the UFOs. But it seems to work sometimes. But sometimes, you know, if you're playing a top Soviet, it's hard because of the fact that if you make UFO discs, you know, Scott with this brute, he's gonna make a whole bunch of flags, and he's just gonna gun you to hell down. Like, you're not even gonna know what happened. And okay, so there's my walls. You know, anti-engineer, anti-terror drone on the MCV, because if you miss the MCV, terror drones could run inside it. And by the way, you know, Crazy Ivans are good versus Yuri, and engineers are good versus Yuri, but, you know, always, you know, the earlier in the game you do it, the bigger risk you take of losing $1,000 for a flak truck plus engineer, which is $500 each. Now, see, the dogs get the slaves, it's not the end of the world, but, you know, you could, you know, take, it's like kind of like a minor thing, but you could take a little bit of extra effort to stop the minor, you know, killing a couple of slaves. They come back, they respawn in not too long, but you could try to stop it. So anyway, yeah, this is a good map because of the fact that you know, Soviet gets the bottom. You know, it's a little bit more fair. It's pretty much a fair map for Yuri versus Soviet, I think. There's no like major advantages like if it was like Isle of War, you're just a magnetron. A lot of the things in Yuri's, like sometimes like certain Navy maps are unfair to fight against Yuri. Like Tournament Map B would be really hard, but you could think of something tricky where you kind of minimize Yuri's advantages in certain maps that he does have advantage. So there comes a flak truck, and you might try to engineer me or try to desolate me. And you know, a trick that I was doing lately is making a Crazy Ivan and a Desolator and put him in the flag truck, melt the slaves, and try to blow up a freaking war factory or a power plant at the same time, or even a radar. And remember that the bomb for the Crazy Ivan is a little bit stronger in Yuri's Revenge, probably because it wants to compensate for the fact that the Navy SEALs are much stronger, so they had to make the Crazy Ivan stronger too. Okay, I pretty much stopped it in his tracks. Not sure if did he get any slaves or not. I don't think too many if he did. So anyway, I don't want to keep this terror drone too long unless he's going to get intense with the Desolators, which usually doesn't happen on bigger maps. In smaller maps like Dune Patrol, Desolators could be a bigger problem. So now all I want to do right now is build up my armor and attack and wait for my Yuri Prime. Okay, I got my Yuri Prime right there. Boom, boom. And ready to smash the Soviet's face. Because the Soviet thinks he's good, I'll show him. So anyway, so this is a high-level Soviet, and you can see he's prepared for the attack well before I attack. Desolator's in the middle, slows down me from rush. My Yuri Prime cannot pass the middle. If I go around, I could go around on the other side, but he could just walk another Desolator to the upper side. See, and I have a bad habit of going low power for no reason. So I'm gonna clean that up with some disc. If you're a good Soviet, one thing you could do is try to bring a flak truck toward the Desolators and save the Desolators. But this guy, he doesn't do that. I do that. Sometimes it's hard. Try not, because the disc actually kills a Desolator really easily. I mean, all you gotta do is, you know, save the Desolators, and then if the UFOs, you know, the floating disc have no support, you're just gonna get them gunned down by those flag trucks pretty quick. And one thing about flag trucks, they could chase the UFOs pretty well. Unlike Guardian GIFVs for allies, they're actually really good against disc, but they're not good at chasing. Because it seems like the bolts miss, but the flag trucks, they don't miss. So I got the Iron Curtain to go away from my base. He's probably going to send one in my mastermind. It's going to kill everything, and then the rest to my base. And son of a... Oh, crap. Oh, he got... Oh, whoa. He got both those masterminds. Okay, that really, really, really hurt me. I couldn't get the thing of a net. Okay, that's not going good for me. There's 2 masterminds that he got in the base really slowed me down. I mean, I had an attack on. I had him Iron Curtain far away from the base. Kind of like a territorial, control. And got just two masterminds down. But he did lose drones, so I mean, it's not like he's getting free kills. You do lose drones when you Iron Curtain drones, but you get way more for your money and for your army value lost. So anyway, I got this building filled, so he can't run any sneak drones. You always gotta be careful with having a mastermind or Yuri Prime alone. That's one. Like drones really. Remember that the Soviets do build kind of faster, because by the time you make one mastermind, the Soviets gonna have like 2.5 or 3.5 Rhino tanks. I don't know the exact number, but he's going to have more units than you overall if it's a good Soviet and he's using an industrial plant. Like this guy. See that industrial plant? When he's got an industrial plant and he starts making multiple war factories, there's people that don't know what they're talking about. They say that Yuri's overpowered. They're going to say, Yuri just mind controls everything. But like, Soviet, especially in the early game, because a lot of the Yuris, they got to get the super weapons up, get the Yuri Prime, and you can't really... do certain things that, you could do versus noobs when you're playing against good players. So he's, I'm trying to sneak up. Oh, that was kind of dumb because I didn't see the siege choppers. I thought the siege choppers were... I was trying to chaos the flak trucks. It did not work. And I'm trying to make an attack here. And look, he's prepared. He's got the flag cannons up. The only weakness is that there's MCBs in the front, which is vulnerable to Yuri Prime, but there's no Yuri Prime here. Because, it's actually getting too hard to bring a Yuri Prime because there's so many drones and desolators everywhere. See, I can't attack everything. Okay, so one thing you're probably wondering, why am I being so aggressive? Why don't I just sit, wait, mind control, build up an army? Because you can't do that with the Soviet. If you wait, you gotta do a tactic I like to call in-base harassment, where you're going to the Yuri. You're going to your Yuri, and you're going into the Soviet base. Yeah, I tried to do a sneak attack, and see, I'm making mistakes. See, I tried to do a sneak attack, and it didn't work. But you had to do like in-base harassments where you keep the Iron Curtain away from your base, and you kind of hurting them, and then when you're against a really, really top-notch Soviet, that didn't really help me too much. See what I mean? Now all his miners are weak. The nuclear missile really, really hurts the slave miners. And he could come in with, either siege choppers or rhino tanks especially, and finish off. And look at with the industrial plant. This is Soviet in its true form. When you play against Soviet in its true form, he's gonna have a lot of crap. But I'm gonna repair everything, and and you're gonna let this guy beat me. You're gonna let a noob like this beat me, right, Meowie? I can't see her. So so we're gonna head now his army is a little bit bigger, but I want to make sure he doesn't come into my base with Iron Curtain on the Rhino tanks and blow up all my super weapons, because if you go, see, he has some. I tried to get it with the Yuri Prime, like I said I wanted to do before, but he moved it and he protected it. Okay, doing a little bit of damage to his siege choppers right there. That did help, but boom, boom, boom. See, see if you could notice if it's a good player or not when you're attacking and he actually moves his units away to save, like, just even if it's just a couple units, or he tries to like do certain things that like an average player would fail to do. They'd be more worried about the main idea and what's going on. He'll save his drones, not let his drones get shot, not let a couple units here and there get blown up. That's how you gotta be a good Yuri. And I don't know why I'm making this clone advance. It's actually good, but the fact is, you know, getting the army going and getting the attack going and doing the main stuff is a little more important than the clone vets, but it could pay off in the end. Okay, so now I'm gonna grind this, guys. So I got enough money, but I want to keep the money going and going and going, so I can keep funding extra war factories. It does cost a lot of electric to make the clone advance. It's kind of not even worth trying to make them because I just better off just messing with the slaves, mutating the slaves. Ah, boom, boom. Now, can I get to take this MCV out? Does he have a repair depot? I'm charging in. Oh, see, force you. See, because you think, you know, if you get the MCV, he has no repair depot. Now you gotta do is just dominate all his war factories and defend, and you're gonna win the game. He only had one war factory right there. See, he's not on a lot of war factories because of the fact that he got a fast industrial plant, got fast nuclear missile. It's a little bit harder for a Soviet to get a fast nuclear missile. Like, doesn't fucking know the nuclear missile. So here we go. The clone advance aren't really helping that much. And like I see what I said about the flag trucks. Flag trucks really are pretty damn swift. You know how to use it. See that? He's got so many flag trucks. And remember, a flag truck is $500 compared to $1750 for the UFO. So if you notice all game how the Soviet was prepared for me. So I figure, you know, if I could get these elite flak trucks, that's like the only thing slowing down my disc, and then my disc might be able to do something. But you know, his armor is pretty big. He's got flak cannons all over. He's got flak cannons, not just flak trucks, all over. And I don't know what to do with these flaks that I stole. Should I grind them or should I try to get NG or Yuri Prime? But he has terror drones all over, so it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to sneak into Yuri Prime with his terror drones all over, even if it's inside a flak truck. I'm making one anyway, huh? So boom, 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 boom. Yeah, too much air defense right there. You gotta still try because here's the thing with Yuri versus Soviet. If you don't try too hard to attack, you're gonna be a sitting duck and you're gonna get your quackle quacked. It made no sense whatsoever. But if you sit around you're gonna sit around. He's gonna come in with drones with iron curtains. Then Rhino takes to finish you off when all your masterminds are dead. And you're not gonna kill 15 Rhino tanks with one psychic tower. Get real here. See what I said about being real hard to do? I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get this and maybe that. Get this, and get that, and then maybe get these flag cannons. And it takes a 1 second delay in between. Sometimes it takes a second delay. So you can't just spam click and mind control sell everything. They make it like, but only 1 second delay is not really that much, really. For a ranged mind control build and sell thing, like Yuri Prime. See, anytime I try to do anything, he has the iron curtain. Remember how I told you in the other videos that 5 minutes is really less than 5 minutes in the game? I don't have enough electric to do the psychic tower. Like a freaking retard. That's what happens when you're losing. You see, because I keep getting my power plants blown up, that I don't have enough electric. So he took out the MCV because I didn't have enough to save it with the psychic tower. But even though, it looks like I might be losing, you gotta remember, you have to kind of keep coming after the Soviet. You're not gonna build up, your 15 Lasher tanks, 10 Masterminds, 7 Gatling tanks, 3 Gatlins, and, 6 discs, and then go in and attack him. If a Soviet allows you to do that, that's a noob. You're playing against a noob. If you're playing against a good player, you're gonna get terror drone, you're gonna get some spiders in your pants, and you're gonna get freaking rocked, and the spiders are gonna explode and go to the other tanks, the robotic spider terror drones. And by the way, terror drones can swim in Red Alert 3. Just wanted to throw out a random fact because a lot of people like random facts. So Okay, and see, and now I'm trying to attack him again, and now more terror drones. So it looks like, well, you know, going into a late game, so Yuri's good late game, but anytime you try to attack, there's terror drones, and I do not want him to Iron Curtain inside my base. That's like the worst thing that could happen. Worst thing that could happen is Iron Curtains come in and blow up both your super weapons or your MCV and your grinder, or any combination of buildings that's really bad, that hurts you a lot. Especially your super weapons is the main thing that he wants to take out the Psychic Dominator, and you're gonna have a nuclear missile getting free hits with no, you know, trade back with a Psychic Dominator. I think I'm gonna blow up that power plant. So actually, it was a good hit for the buildings, but you know, it's getting a little bit hard. Now I gotta start using brutes. Flag truck helping out quite a bit right there, killing the Desolators, making room for my brutes to get an attack post going. And by the way, I actually was reading a book, and I heard that a lot of good war generals are actually like physicists and scientists and stuff like that before they were war generals. And sometimes they make the best war generals, like the really smart, like science people. You know, they convert the brain power to war and stuff, and they're very successful in wars. Anyway, here we go. Looks like the Yuri is getting. Looks like freaking they're getting nuke like Japan right now. Looks like it. And by the way, if you guys watch Red Alert, you know that Yuri actually has a half Japanese daughter, Yuriko. I don't know, but good game, guys.